Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the one and only your boy HonchJay23, the host, the official host of Independence Scene, episode 154. I am in the building with my man Tae-EM. What's good, boy?
What's good, HonchJay, man?
What's good with it, man? How you been, man?
I'm straight, man. I just been trying to stay corona-free and just trying to cater to my mental health, man. I ain't been up to much, man.
Okay, I feel that. So first of all, like I said, welcome to the show, man. Definitely, you know, it's coming in the making, man. And I definitely, you know, have been watching your journey and your progression, man. And I'm definitely inspired by everything you got going on. Continue to do what you do, man. And definitely, man, introduce yourself to the people real quick for the people that don't know you. Then we're gonna jump right into it.
My name is Tae-EM. I'm from Kingston, North Carolina, 252.
Hey, 25.
Yeah, man. But I've been in this rap shit, man. I've been jotting rap since I was 9 years old. That's around 2004. I was inspired to do it by listening to LL Cool J and Ludacris, T.I., 50 Cent. You know,
Okay.
Just to name a few. Them like my favorites.
Okay.
So after that, you know, I just kept doing it. I kept going and kept pursuing it. And right around 2010, I was like 15. I call him my big brother, but it was like a mentor to me. His name J Bill.
Okay.
He got me in the studio with him, and then that was the first time I've been actively like recording in the studio and stuff for like 10 years now.
Okay.
So throughout the past 10 years, I've just been trying to find myself, elevate my sound, find a comfort zone, and just find a way that I can break into the industry, whether it's on a major or minor level, that fits me and makes me comfortable with it as well.
Okay, I feel that. Well, I definitely appreciate that insight, man. That definitely, you know what I'm saying, definitely gives us a little look into what you got going on. So real quick, I'm gonna just jump on into it. We were just politicking just a minute ago, about a song that you just recently came out with, Humble Cocky. Tell us a little bit about that, how that came about, man, and where did it originate from?
Shout out to J Jules. He's a producer in New York. I have a friend, her name is Destiny, and she's real close friends with J Jules, and I've just been politicking with them for a couple of years, and he just decided to shop me out a beat pack or whatever.
Okay.
So I sat on the beat pack, and I'm going through them, and the one particular beat stood out to me.
Okay.
And the way it starts, you hear the piano in the beginning. It's
right.
Like, dun, dun, dun,
right.
Dun, 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 dun. So I'm listening to the shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I want to hear where this is going, because this piano kind of rocking.
Yeah.
So then I heard that. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I got to do something on this shit immediately.
Right.
So I have an in-house studio. I record at the house. So I record on my own time. I ain't got to pay no niggas $500 for 2 hours in the studio.
Okay.
So that's how I get creative, man.
Okay.
If I rush in the studio and I got to pay for 2 hours, like $500, I feel like I'm rushing my process.
Right.
So that's why I like to do it where I'm at. So I went and I did the song, and I actually sat on it. I sat on that song for probably about a year.
Okay.
Because me, I'm one of those artists where I don't like to just throw music out.
Right.
Because I like to be at a certain place in my life. I like
right.
to have things organized. I kind of like to do it in a rollout.
Okay.
So I sat on it, and I just decided to release it because I felt I didn't want the song to get outdated.
Right.
And I always felt that now I sit on music to see how I feel about it like 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
And if it still sounds fresh to me, then I will give it to the world.
Okay. I feel that. All right. So real quick, out of all the songs that you've, put out, has Humble Cocky been that #1 most lit song for you, or has there been any other songs that you've written that really sticks out more to you?
Humble Cocky is I love Humble Cocky, don't get me wrong, and it's probably one of the hardest songs that I have made, but I feel like the song that stands out for me the most, I had dropped it at the top of the year, and it's called Stop Lying. And I think Stop Lying has it has brought out the best Tae-EM that you could possibly get.
Okay.
If you want to listen to Tae-EM for the first time, Stop Lying is it's a monster record. It was produced by my boy Mike. He lives in Colombia.
Okay.
15 years old, by the way. He's a crazy producer.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think this year, 2020, I have released my best music. Humble Cocky is definitely one of Stop Lying is, and personally my favorite song I released this year is called Stress Free.
Okay.
Stress Free brings out a more vulnerable side of who I am rather than just that, oh, let me talk about who I am and all that type of stuff.
Right.
So yeah, man, Humble Cocky is definitely Humble Cocky shows who I can be.
Okay.
And who I am. It shows who I am, but who I can be as well.
Okay.
Stress Free is who I am, and Stop Lying is just the miss of what you're gonna get from Tae-EM right now.
Okay. I feel that. So real quick, you you happen to mention, Stop Lying, and other songs that you've done. I've actually, had the opportunity to listen to all of them, and you definitely are, speaking on some real shit in each one of those songs, man. So talk us a little bit about your mindset and your process when it comes to creating songs like that. What is it about songs like that that really makes you really tap more into that and really, give us, the hits that we, that the people look for?
Usually, man, this goes for me and my fellow Impact members as well. Like, we have to be in a particular mindset in order to make music and release music, because anybody can fucking rap.
Right.
Anything can go in the studio and drop some bars, and that's cool.
Right.
But we actually want to present content.
Right.
Because I feel like music with no backstory, it's no meaning.
Right. Right.
Anybody can turn up and that's fine, but we kind of like to have meaning in our music, especially me.
Right.
So I kind of like, I have to be going through something, like not necessarily going through something, but I have to be motivated. I have to see something. It has to be something or somebody around me who's driving me to the studio.
Okay.
Indirectly. So when I drop music, man, a lot of this stuff is subconscious for me.
Okay.
So whenever I make music, it's literally what's on my mind. I can't just rap
right.
bars all day. That's fine. I can do that.
Right.
But I can't do that.
Okay. I feel
when
that.
I present music, man, I have to be in a particular mindset, man. I have to be motivated. There has to be something going on. It has to be something that changed my life or shifted my perspective a little bit.
Okay. I feel that. So real quick, it's kind of switching gears. I'm gonna kind of be doing that from throughout this show. But real quick, talk us a little bit about your growing up, man. How it was growing up as a kid, and not only growing up as a kid, but really coming into your own as a man and really figuring out what it was that you wanted to do in your life.
Yeah. Coming up, I had both my parents, my mom and my dad. They was married when I was first born, to my knowledge, and then they ended up getting divorced. They actually separated like real early in my life. So for the most part of my life, I grew up not seeing my parents together, doing a lot of arguing and shit.
Right.
Stuff. So I had to balance my life between trying to be a good kid in school, trying to have straight A's, maintain a relationship with my dad, maintain a relationship with my mom, and I primarily live with my mom, and I seen her go through a lot. I watched her endure so much. And it just drove me to be a strong person, morally and emotionally. And both my parents, they have a strong musical background. When I say they have a musical background, just their interest, not like they was
right.
for the music or anything. My mom, she loved music. My dad loved music. So everything that I know about music, I got it from them.
Okay.
And it was right around the 3rd and 4th grade when I actually started writing raps and decided that this is what I wanted to do. I actually just tried it first, because what my parents saw in me is like, okay, I'm getting straight A's, I'm getting D's. So they want me, they immediately, like, they think they got a doctor, like,
right.
And that's cool, but I wanted to know, like, is there something that I actually like to do besides read books and do my damn homework?
Right.
So I started writing raps or whatever. I would have my classmates, like, they'll love it. And what kind of put the stamp on it was when my teachers started rocking with it.
Okay.
So when my teachers started rocking with it, I'm like, okay, I found something that I like to do.
Right.
Maybe I should start pushing for it.
Right.
But when I got in middle school, this is when I did my first talent show. It was in the 7th grade.
Okay.
I had got a crazy reaction, and the reaction was like some of the most heartwarming things I ever experienced. At that age, I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
So once I did that, I'm like, this is what I want to do. And ironically, as soon as I decided that rapping is what I wanted to do, my grades started falling off.
Wow.
Because I started focusing on what I wanted to do.
Right.
And you know, I get in high school. Everybody want to find themselves in high school. Everybody, you know, they start feeling themselves. They start glowing up.
Right.
You know, and things of that nature. So I started doing talent shows every year in high school because at that point I realized that that's what I wanted to do. College kind of went out the window. And, you know, I kind of just cruised through high school. I wasn't really into it as much. You know, I was just, hey, as long as I graduate, that's fine with me.
Right.
As soon as I finished graduating, music was going to be my only focus.
Okay.
So music has been my focus ever since then. But, you know, when you have to deal with real life as well, you got to pay bills.
Right.
You got credit you need to work on.
Right.
You got priorities over here. So I got my dream over here and I got my priorities over here.
Right.
So now, you know, I'm at a point where I'm trying to navigate both things because I went through a point where I just put my dreams on the front burner and I put my priorities on the back burner. Now, you know, I'm older, you know what I'm saying? I have a girlfriend. I need to advance my life. I need to put my priorities on the front burner.
Right.
So now I'm trying to juggle both things, and I think that's going to actually drive me and push me to be a better man currently where I'm at. So, I mean, I've had my fair share of struggles. I watched my parents go through a lot of things. I never really... Another thing that I didn't have coming up like that was like a strong support system as far as my music. And if you're a upcoming artist, you know how hard it is to have that. And I'm not going to sit here and say I never had support, but I didn't have support from the people that it mattered to me the most.
I feel that.
And it just pushed me a little bit harder because I feel like not only do I have something to prove to myself, but I have something to prove to the people around me.
Right.
I need to let them understand that this is not no game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 25 years old. I'm still doing it. I'm 10 years deep
Right.
in this music shit. And I haven't stopped. And I don't plan on letting it go no time soon. So
Okay. I feel that. And, you know, and that's good that you're able to, you know, be in this position, man, and be able to, you know, be real and be honest with the people, not only with the people, but with yourself, man. That really, truly means a lot. So real quick, you know, talk to us a little bit about how does it make you feel when you come across people that are able to sing your songs, able to recite your lyrics, and as an artist, knowing that you created those songs, what is that process like for you? How does that make you feel on the inside?
Man, that's one of them things where it's bittersweet.
Okay.
Cause me, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm creating songs,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I wonder, can I hear thousands of people sing this shit at the show?
Right.
And you know, it got to a point where it didn't matter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I just created,
Mm-hmm.
and I present the song.
Right.
And when I see people in public and they rap my song to me, that just makes me feel. That gives me a stamp, and it makes me understand that this is the reason why I should be doing it.
Right.
It gives this worth going hard for.
Right.
And shout out to Mir.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
Like I did shows before with my bro J Bill.
Okay.
Like when I was younger, like when I was a teenager. But like as far as going out on my own with my boys, she was the first person that I actually reached out to, and her platform was the first platform that we had actually showcased who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably around 2 years ago when we first did our show.
Okay.
And you know, we're not at every show, but when we pop out, we make sure it's a movie, man, because it's all love.
Right.
At Mir shows, and shout out to the whole Carolina Waves.
Yes,
movie.
sir. Yes, sir.
Because Carolina Waves, man, it's like everybody in the wave, bro.
Right.
It's nothing but love and support, man. Like, and that's what you get when you network with the right people. Who
Right.
have the same mentality as you.
Right.
So it's really a great feeling, man, because you know people's out there listening to you.
Yes.
They're not just bobbing their head. They not just just standing there not
Mm-hmm.
knowing what the hell going on. Like
Right.
to hear somebody recite your song, it's a heartwarming feeling, man.
Okay, I feel that. So definitely, you know what I'm saying, and that was going to be my next question, but definitely you just touched on it. Shouts out to Carolina Waves, the whole Carolina Waves movement. But you yourself also have your own collective group, and, you know, and what I want to know and what people want to know is, you know, what is that like, you know, having your own, you know, being a part of your own collective and just really being able to, you know, be in a circle with other artists that really have the same fondness and passion for music just as much as you do.
Um, I love it, man. And I can wholeheartedly say that because you know the industry, like the main industry, they'll just put some niggas together with no kind of chemistry.
Right, right.
In Impact Worldwide, it's me, Carefree, and Two Dope.
Okay.
Two Dope, I known him for a long time. I know me and him, we grew up in the same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't come together till a couple of years ago when he started rapping,
Mm-hmm.
and I had the in-home studio.
Right, right.
And so he just reached out to me, and we started bonding like that.
Okay.
Carefree, on the other hand, I met him through a mutual friend, and I knew that he was another person who was just as passionate with music as I was.
Mm-hmm.
And he stood out, and he wasn't one of those rappers who just wanted to rely on a city fame.
Right, right.
Just go with the wave. He's a very innovative and creative person.
Right.
And so I just decided to come together with these three guys, including myself. And I just wanted to see what we could create when we came together. And when we created, like the bond was just there off the bat, like not just musically, like
Mm-hmm.
as far as like how the vibe was in the studio.
Right.
And it's like them now, man, I can say that them are genuinely my brothers. You know, they're like best friends to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not just off the strength of music, just how it is when we together. You know
Right, right.
But also understanding that music is still the forefront of why we're together.
Right. I agree with that. I feel that. I appreciate you speaking on that. Shouts out to Carefree in the building. What's good, homie? You know what I'm saying? What's good, homie? All right, so real quick, again, switching gears, man. So, you know, with everything that's going on, man, you know, with this whole pandemic, this whole Black Lives Matter movement, man, you know, give us your feedback on that. How have you been processing this? How have you been dealing with it? You know, the whole 9 yards, man.
Man, at first I didn't think the pandemic was going to really affect me in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, when you saw that this shit just kept going on, and cases kept going on,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, damn, like, is this how life gonna be forever?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna be socially distancing forever? You know what I'm saying? Is this the future
Mm-hmm.
of society right here?
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, man, I kind of been a little, not necessarily depressed, but I've been frustrated and I've been stressed out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't been able to do shows.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that you would get more creative in the studio during this time,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't been able to be as creative as I was
Mm-hmm.
due to me trying to navigate through the ways of the world.
Right,
and
right.
trying to understand like where we stand with our government,
Right.
with police officers, with
Right.
white people, with our own brothers and sisters in our communities, man. And when that whole George Floyd situation went through, I knew off the bat, like, yo, this year is gonna be one we haven't seen before.
Right.
And on top of that, this election, man. You don't even know which one of these clowns to vote for.
Exactly.
And I know that everybody want to vote Trump out, and that's cool, but I mean, do you know who Joe Biden is?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Has Joe Biden came up with a plan that makes you want to vote for him?
Right.
Or are you just voting for him because you want Trump out of the office?
Right. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
It's just, you know, gaining everything that we have went through in this world in the past. We've been in this pandemic like 7 months, man. It had just kind of shaped me up to a point where it's like I don't know where the future lies.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm getting back to a point where I should just enjoy my life,
Mm-hmm.
pray more, keep God first, just be happy, man, and let whatever be.
Okay. I feel that. So, there again, going back to your music for a second, when it comes to your music, are you now finding yourself putting what's going on in the world into your music so that people can be able to understand and relate a little bit, or you haven't really thought about it like that?
Man, you want to know what's funny, bro? And this is one of the reasons why I haven't been creating as much during this pandemic.
Okay.
I have an album that I'm actually working on. It's called EO.
Okay.
Most of the content on that album was created before this pandemic.
Okay.
And a lot of the content in the album talks about police brutality,
Okay.
mental health, injustice, the division between us and our own brothers and other races.
Right.
So when everything starts to happen,
Now you good. You good.
when everything starts happening, I see all these other artists there dropping music about what's currently going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm looking at my music and I'm like, yo, everything that I'm talking about is currently going on. Not saying that I was foreshadowing what 2020 was going to be like.
Right.
It's just that I already know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So now, you know, you got Lil Baby, he dropped the bigger picture, and everybody doing all these Black Lives Matter songs, and now everybody's woke. For me as an artist, I never want to go with the trend.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I drop what I want to drop now, it's going to sound like, oh, well, he just talking like this because of what's going on in the world. But I was already speaking about these type of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I just been kicking back, watching, and plotting my next move and how I want to execute it. You know, I still been dropping music in the midst of all this, but I want to drop the music that I know that can keep the people going until I present what I really want to present. So, I mean, I can get creative anytime I want,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't been creative the way I want to because I was already creative.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, do I take a level up,
Mm-hmm.
or do I take a seat back and then recreate
Right.
when it's time?
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I feel that. So, do you feel like, you know, right now, being in this career, being in this field, do you feel like, you know, it's really made you the person that you are today, or do you feel like you still have a lot more that you want to give to the people out here in 2020?
I mean, of course, music shapes me. Music is my passion. You know, this is my first love. But real life comes first, man. Because without real life, I have no music. I have
Right.
no platform. So, I don't know, man. I just try to watch what's going on before I try to execute. I'm trying to have that listen first and speak later type of mentality, man. But I do be having a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I just always want to make sure that I have my information correct.
Right.
Or I also want to make sure that I'm sure of my feelings and my mindset before I speak.
Right.
You know, right now I'm just waiting on 2021, man.
Right.
Because I'm looking for a brand new start, brand new beginnings.
Right.
So that I can present the new Tae-EM.
Right. Right.
Fresh start.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Now, real quick. Now we've been, you know, again switching gears. You know, we've been having, you know, this thing entitled Versus,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure you follow. I'm pretty sure you have probably seen some of them or caught a few. But what I want to know is what battle that you've seen that you can recall really stood out to you, and who do you see next stepping into, you know, that ring 101?
Man, that's a good question, bro. I think all of the versus battles have been pretty unique in their own way. I think the best verses
Mm-hmm.
probably was Snoop and DMX.
Okay.
I think the one I actually liked the most was Nelly and Ludacris.
Okay.
Because I grew up on them, like when I was listening to them and they was making all them hits, that's when I started rapping.
Right.
And, you know, Ludacris is one of my top 5 favorite rappers of all time.
Right.
So I think Snoop and DMX, they definitely had the best one because of their catalog.
Mm-hmm.
They seemed like they were genuinely having fun, like they was just chilling.
Right. Right.
Instead of just making it a competition.
Right. Right.
But I'm glad that they created this Versus platform, because Versus, a lot of people looking at it as like, who better than who.
Right.
It's not who's better than who.
Right.
It's just two people coming together and presenting their catalog.
Right.
And it has to be a perfect match so that it doesn't seem off.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And I like the Versus platform. I think who I want to see next is I know T.I. he wanted 50, man, and I would have loved to see that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But it's starting to look like T.I. and Jeezy, and I definitely sit down and watch that because I love T.I. and I love Jeezy. They both got huge catalogs, But honestly, I don't think nobody fucking with T.I. like that.
Right.
Because people like to sleep on Tip. Like, Tip has transcended through different generations and has remained a relevant force in hip hop for forever.
Right.
But, that's not a knock to Jeezy, too, man. But Tip has really, he's done it all, man. And I think he could do it again.
Right, most definitely. All right, so speaking on that, what would be your dream collaboration if you had the opportunity to, collab with any one of these artists that are some of your favorites? What would that dream collaboration look like, or who would that dream collaboration want to be? Who you would want that to be with?
My dream collab, I love Kendrick Lamar a lot. He's probably my favorite rapper. Kendrick Lamar, for the most part, I don't really think too much about my dream collabs like that, because 9 times out of 10, whenever I'm recording a song, I'm just there by myself.
Right,
because I feel like I just got so much to say. But Kendrick is definitely one of my dream collaborations.
Okay.
Now, as far as producers,
okay,
that's a different conversation. Like, I want to work with Swizz Beatz.
Ooh, I can see that.
I think Swizz Beatz got one of the best sounds
right.
in hip hop.
He does.
Metro Boomin, of course. Metro Boomin, Swizz Beatz, and of course Dr. Dre.
Most definitely. Like, shouts out to Dr. Dre, you know what I'm saying? Okay. All right, so real quick, we talk about favorite artists, but real quick, give us your top 5 favorite artists, of all time.
All time?
Yeah.
LL Cool J.
Okay.
He's my favorite ever to ever do.
Okay.
Number 2, Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Number 3, I'm gonna have to put Eminem on that list.
Okay.
Number 4, I'm gonna have to go with T.I. And number 5, I'm gonna have to go with Ludacris.
Okay. Definitely.
And my list fresh, man. Everybody expect you to have Tupac, Biggie, Nas.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And I respect them, man. Like, they have driven this culture
right.
to places that we never thought it could go.
Right.
But that's just my first top 5, and those are the 5 people who have. I feel like if you roll all of them up into one, you get me.
Okay, I feel that. All right, so real quick, when it comes to era of music, because we've had so many different eras of music. We've had, when you think about the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and you had the 2000s, you had 2010s, and you had today's regime of music. What era of music do you feel like still makes an impact to this day? And do you feel like the music that was created in that era, do you feel like it can be brought back in some way?
I don't think I can say which era has had the biggest. Of course, the golden era was like the late 90s and the early 2000s.
Right.
I feel like every generation is special in its own way.
Right.
Because, at this point, man, we're always going to have that old head versus younger generation argument. No matter what generation it's going to be. Because I remember back in 2004, hearing older folks telling my parents, you don't know nothing about this.
Right.
So I don't think each generation has like a bigger impact than either. I just think it continues to go through evolution into something that can be enjoyed by all of us.
Right.
One thing that I will say about hip hop as a culture, we need to protect it.
Right.
We need to keep it pure. Because if we let this culture get into the wrong hands of the people, we could be exploited.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think we have platforms out here that like to use hip hop to track down criminals. So when I say we need to protect it, I think we need to protect it. We need to watch what we say. We need to watch who we make music for.
Right.
We need to. I feel like we need some gatekeepers, man. We need some gatekeepers that's gonna say who can make hip hop music.
Right.
Who can top the charts and who can even hop in the studio.
Right.
So I definitely think we need to protect it because in 20 to 30 years, man, if it gets in the wrong hands, man, we might not have hip hop no more.
Right. I agree. I totally agree with that. And with that being said, real quick, 5 to 10 years from now, where do you see yourself? What's your next plan? What's your next goal?
I definitely like besides hip hop and rapping. I see myself investing in quite a few businesses, man. I always wanted a clothing line. I always wanted a shoe line.
Okay.
What I really would love is like to have my own like men's fragrance because I'm into cologne and things
Okay.
of that nature.
Okay.
But I definitely would love to see myself as an entrepreneur, somebody who can, do more than just rap. Because a lot of people might look at us and be like, "Oh, you just a rapper."
Mm-hmm.
No, man, it's more to me. Rap is just what's gonna flood the gates for me. So I would like to be, maybe like a label exec one day. I honestly would love to do anything, man. I want to be somebody who can affect the world in the most positive way.
Okay.
I do think that the more successful you are, the more people you're going to cross and the more people you're going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, everything comes with a risk factor and a sacrifice. And I'm cool with that, man. I just want to make great money and I want to put things out that the people can enjoy without taking from them or without hurting anybody.
Okay. Now, real quick, give us for all the people that's watching, for all the young and up and coming artists that's watching, what advice do you have for them to keep them motivated, to keep them going, to keep them on the up and up?
I will say this, man. Just be yourself. Find yourself first and be yourself. Don't just do this shit just because it's trendy. Like, don't just try to hop in the game just because you see a nigga get 1 million views and you feel like you can go do it overnight. It's a little bit harder than that. Now, if you're one of them people who just lucky enough to have that strong support, hey, it might be for you. But
right.
For me, I would just like to tell people to just stay yourself. Always be in tune with what's going on around you and study the game, man. Like, don't just look for a nigga to sign you and think that that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Study the game. It's a lot more than just going in the studio, dropping some bars and making a hit. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can do that. But as far as like, maintaining who you are and keeping your mental health sane,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you gotta be yourself first before you can do anything musically.
Right.
And
Right.
then, like I said, just watch the business. Always network.
Mm-hmm.
And understand, it's always gonna be somebody that's bigger and better than you.
Right.
But the mindset is to think that you are the best.
Right.
But understand, there's always gonna be that next level.
Right.
To tackle.
Right. Okay. Now, real quick, and I wanna kind of get into this real quick. But when it comes to sports, I'm pretty sure you're a big sports guy. What was it like, man? And I gotta bring up the obvious. What was it like? Seeing L.A. Lakers. What I'm saying? Swipe up that championship, man, and really take it all the way this year for 2020, man. What was your response to that?
Hey, man, people, whoever watches this, they might be a little upset with me, man. I'm not a LeBron James fan.
Okay.
I do think that LeBron James is he's an incredible athlete. I don't know what the hell he's doing to stay this good and this healthy. But it's looking like he probably will go down as one of the greatest of all time. But I've never been a LeBron fan, and I always was scared that him coming to LA would hurt Kobe's legacy because Kobe's my favorite basketball player ever.
Right.
So, and it's always been that Kobe versus LeBron.
Right.
LeBron versus, you know how they try to divide them.
Right.
So it was kind of like I was actually happy for the boys. I did want Kobe to get his 6th ring, man, but I'm glad that they was able to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
That they dedicated the championship to Kobe and his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
When Kobe passed early this year, that kind of hurt my heart, man, because he was like a hero, man. Kobe was one of them people where it was like he don't know how he gonna do it, but he gonna get it done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he always had the mentality that he was the best player on the court, and he gonna go out there every night and show you why he was the best player.
Right.
So, but to see LeBron come to the Lakers and get it for him, that's cool. I'm just glad that everybody's happy. It was expected that they was gonna get the championship.
Okay.
I felt like that team wasn't as good though because they let Jimmy Butler get 2 games out of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But either way, man, I'm happy for the Lakers, man. I'm excited for the next season because I want to see the Warriors come back strong.
Most definitely.
I love Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, man. I like Luka Doncic. I like what he's doing.
Okay. Okay.
I think the NBA season next season is gonna be crazy because everybody's gonna be back and everybody's gonna be healthy.
Most definitely. Now, real quick, switching over to the football side. When it comes to football, who's your squad on the football side, and who you feel like is taking it this year in football?
I'm gonna be real, bro. I ain't really into football like that. I do like to just watch what's going on, man. I like to look from the outside looking in when it comes to football.
Okay.
I'm probably like that typical person who waits till the Super Bowl to actually watch the game.
Okay.
Yeah, but football's cool, man. But I ain't really into it like that.
Okay, I feel that. Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, so then once again, so now switching gears. When it comes to movies, I'm pretty sure you've had I'm pretty sure you got some movies out there that you truly enjoyed to watch and love seeing. But if you had to put your top 5 favorite movies in order, who would those top 5 favorite movies? What would those top 5 favorite movies be?
My top 5 favorite movies, definitely All About the Bitches. I'm a comedy person, man.
Okay.
And Ice Cube, I think he's one of the best actors. Not only one of the best actors, one of the best producers.
Okay.
When it comes to films, All About the Benjamins is one of them. I also love LL Cool J as an actor. I love his work in Deep Blue Sea.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
I had to put Deep Blue Sea up there. Anything with Morgan Freeman is crazy.
Okay.
So I'd put Deep Impact into that. I like Deep Impact because it's one of those. I love end of the world movies.
Okay.
Like I love those catastrophe movies that just show what can happen in case we were to go through one of these things.
Right. Right.
So it's All About the Benjamins, Deep Blue Sea, I'd say Deep Impact. Damn, man. I probably have to throw one of the Fridays in there.
Okay.
And
any horror movies you out there that you like to watch?
I ain't too much into horror, man, because they always have me thinking after I finish watching them.
Yeah.
Damn, man, I ain't too picky when it comes to movies, man. Anything I watch is good. I like the movie 2012.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
2012 was pretty cool.
Okay.
But man, if I'm one of those people where if you want to sit me down and watch a movie, I'll watch it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel that. So now, real quick, now we're gonna get into another topic that a lot of people speak on, in today's society. But when it comes to dating, man, and I'm sure you've had your fair share of dates, and you've been on dates and stuff like that. But how do you feel now about the dating game, and how do you feel like the dating game now has changed, if it has changed to you in any kind of way?
As far as that's concerned, I think people put a little bit too much into it. I feel like if you just vibing with a person and you feeling them, then you should go with that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are brought up with certain mindsets, and everybody got standards, and everybody got preferences. I feel like if you let all of that go, and you have somebody that you mutually bond with well on that type of level, I think you should go with it. I don't think love and dating is that complicated.
Okay.
You just gotta find somebody that you genuinely rock with.
Right.
That's why I don't really blame people who go on dating services. They probably just trying it out. They just want to see where it can go.
Right.
But if you don't bring those standards down a little bit, man, then you might not find a person that's worth marrying. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't have standards, because everybody wants somebody that's gonna meet them here,
right,
or treat them right, but. I just think now people are becoming a little bit more open to the opportunities around them. And I think that's why we see more people getting married.
Right.
You see more people on social media happy.
Right.
And I think back in the days, people were kind of forced together due to their circumstances. And I think now people aren't just marrying each other just because they got a kid.
Right.
Or just because they got a house together.
Right.
I think people nowadays, they aren't afraid. Like, if they have a kid, they aren't afraid to go date other people. As long as they have that mutual mindset that, like, we have a kid together, and regardless, we still need to stick with each other in some type of capacity.
Right. Right. I feel now. Real quick, answer this real quick. And if you had to sum it up, do you feel like the saying is true? Love at first sight. Do you believe in the whole love at first sight, or do you feel like that's more cliche?
I believe it's possible. I believe love is at first sight is possible because we all don't have the same mindsets. You know, I can't really speak for everybody.
Right.
You know, I think with us as men, it's not necessarily true.
Mm-hmm.
Because men, we lust anyway.
Right.
You know, so we can look at any girl with nice breasts,
right.
nice butt, and she pretty in the face and think that we in love.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as we get with her, she nagging, she aggravates us, and all of a sudden we're not in love with her no more.
Right.
And I feel like if you're genuinely in love, you're gonna stay in love.
Okay.
I think women, they have more of a knack for that type of thing.
Okay.
Because women 9 times out of 10, they already know what they want.
Right. Right. Big fans. All right. So real quick, talk to us a little bit about social media, man, because you know you yourself have been a part of social media. But how do you feel like social media now has evolved in any way, and how do you feel like it's really helped people to really bring people together in your observation?
I think social media is a gift and a curse.
Okay.
I think the social media, for one, I think it drives a gap into how we communicate with people. I mean, of course, you know, we could FaceTime each other, you know, from one end of the world to the other. But I think it drives a gap as far as, like, us coming together and actually building a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen plenty of people where they talk on the phone all day, but once they get in person, you don't see no kind of chemistry.
Right.
Vibe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the good thing about social media is it shows us what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, any type of information that we need or want, we can get on our phones and look it up.
Right.
I do think these phones, you know, they have a way of distracting us and making us lazy and helping us, you know, making us put our priorities to the side.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everything in life is a gift and a curse.
Okay.
You just got to make the most of it. You got to make the best of it. And if it gets the worst of you, then hey, I guess it's not such a good thing for you.
Right, right. I feel that.
And social media has definitely been a big thing as far as the whole Black Lives Matter movement.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has gotten, like, popularity all over the world. And without social media, I wouldn't even know what's going on in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
They fucking them up in Nigeria right now.
Wow.
And it's ridiculous, man. So social media is a gift and a curse.
Okay. So real quick, so my last two final things I wanna tap into real quick is, now that the world is kind of piece by piece opening back up, and shows are starting to kind of come back and things of that nature. How are you feeling now that the world is allowing shows to finally come back and things decide to finally open back up and you be able to get back out there on that stage and do what you do best?
I'm excited about it. I'm hoping that we don't have to go back to what we was doing ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a nice experiment for all of us. It showed us how to navigate in life without doing too much social interaction.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely excited about it. I think everybody, all the rappers and all the athletes, they're gonna come back strong.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that there are gonna be new precautions that everybody's gonna have to take when it comes to being in public.
Mm-hmm.
I can see this mask thing being permanent, but I doubt it. People are starting not to wear their masks in grocery stores and stuff like that anymore. So
Right.
I'm definitely excited for what's to come in 2021. I just hope that we don't have another big wave of coronavirus cases that causes us to shut down.
Right.
Other countries, I think it was New Zealand. Like I think they had a hockey league or a soccer league or something like that. They was up and running in like April.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it's you. Like I said, you'll be surprised, man, at the things that you see and that you hear all over the world. It's one of those things now, man, where it's like it's kind of hard to believe what's going on in the world, what's going on in the media, man. So as they always say, guys, you can't always believe what you hear. You know what I'm saying? You ain't always believe the fan and the hype of everything. And so my last and final question, man. Can there be change? That's the main question. Can there be change, and how do you see that change coming about?
I think there can be changes, but I don't think there can be a complete change. But the only way change can happen, man, we gotta work together. We gotta stay on the same page, and we gotta continue loving one another, man. And another thing we gotta do is we gotta continue accepting new things. If we don't accept new things, and our life is going to become stagnant. Okay. So I think there can be change. We just got to continue living our life, man, and adapting to the new changes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And one final thing, because it just popped into my mind. But when it comes to influences in the music career, we spoke about a few of them, but who's been that number one influential person or influence in your life that has really like showed you and pushed you, fully into your element of rapping and things of that nature?
I say LL Cool J. Like I said earlier, LL Cool J, he's one of my favorites of all time. I grew up on him. My mom, my dad listening to him. But just looking at him now, like when I think back on his career, like LL has managed to be one of the, one of the most prominent hip hop rappers in the world at one point, and transition into acting, and then transition into doing business, and on top of all that, remaining intact with family.
Okay.
I feel like if you don't remain intact with your family and your loved ones, and what you really doing it for?
Right.
You got all these millions and you have all these plaques and you're known for all these different things, but you have no love in your home.
Right.
You call your family members, and he has always remained it. He has always had that. He's married, got kids. I always saw myself married with like 2, 3, maybe 4 kids. Just a happy family, man. It don't matter how many kids, any of those circumstances, man. But he seemed like, after all that, he's still happy. And I feel like if you're not happy doing all of this and you don't have your family to do it for, what you're doing it for, really.
Right. Okay, I feel that. Well, brother, I said we definitely can keep this conversation going, but I have truly enjoyed this talk that we've had, man. It's truly been definitely been very informational, man. I'm glad, and I hope that you guys out there that are watching, that are listening, was able to learn a little bit about my bro right here, Tae-EM. You know what I'm saying? Definitely doing this thing. But real quick, before we wrap it up, man, what can we be on the lookout for in 2020 coming from you, and what else can we, what else more do we need to be looking out for and plugged in and tapped into as it relates to you?
Yeah, man. I'm still dropping music, but right now I'm currently working on my next album. I'm thinking about titling it EO, and EO basically stands for Emotional Overload.
Okay.
So I'm looking to drop that in like January or February of 2021. I might have hard copies. I might want to have some merchandise.
Okay.
So I just want to continue pushing that. Right now I got Humble Cocky out, I got Stress Free out, and I got Stop Line out. Those are 3 of my best songs that I've been pushing all year, and hopefully they make my album. If not, my album will be crazy regardless. So just look for that in 2021. My boy Carefree, he been working constantly, so he got something on the way. My boy Too Dope, he just dropped his double album, National Treasure 2, and he's still working. So we all still working, man. We just try to look for the perfect time to release music, because you never wanted to go under the radar.
Right.
And I also want to have music that I can drop that people can, it might not hit you right now, but you can go back and listen to it 6 months later, just to get what you didn't catch.
Right. I feel that. All right. And so real quick, let people know where they can follow you at and where they can tap in with you at.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Snapchat if you want to, at Tae-Impact, Tae_Impact, TAE_EMPAC. That's on everything. We on YouTube, man. The YouTube channel is Impact Worldwide. So yeah, man, just link with me, just hit me, bro. I'm one of the humblest niggas you'll ever meet. I don't mind working with anybody. I take the time out to work with anybody. I don't think I'm big enough to be out here charging niggas,
right?
50K for features or anything like that, man. I feel like, if I want to work with you, I want to work with you. If I feel like it's not there yet, it's not meant yet, then I'm just not gonna do it.
Most definitely. Okay, well, I feel it. Well, brother, like I said, once again, we appreciate you for coming through, tapping into Independent Scene, episode 154. It was definitely a pleasure, definitely a thrill. Definitely glad I had a chance to learn a little bit about you and your growing up and, your music. And I definitely can't wait to bring you back, on another encore edition, So we definitely going to make sure we bring you back.
I got to, man. This is like my first interview, bro, so I appreciate it.
Most definitely, man. I'm glad I was, I'm glad I was the first one that you gave it to, man.
Man, I woke up this morning thinking, I'm about to go to Breakfast Club.
Hey, man, listen. Hey, look, I take that as a compliment. Man. But
and shout out to you for doing your thing, man, and being consistent with it. Because some people, we all upcoming at the end of the day.
Right.
Some people feel like, if they're not where they want to be, when they want to be, they just give up.
Right.
You just got to keep pushing, man, and people are going to come to your platform regardless. So you just keep doing your thing, bro, and I'm going to keep doing mine.
Most definitely. And like I said, we definitely gonna, you know, again, like I said, link up again. We're gonna definitely, you know what I'm saying, bring you back again on the show, man. But definitely continue to do what you do. Continue to apply that pressure, man. Like I said, guys, make sure you follow my brother right here. He is doing so many great things. He has, like I said, he mentioned his songs. Make sure you go and download those songs. Stop Lying, you know, Humble Cocky, you know what I'm saying, the whole 9 yards. Y'all make sure y'all go and stream those real quick. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate it. And brother, we'll see you next time. Guys, this has been Independent Scene with yours truly, HonchJay23 and the one and only Tae-EM. Thanks for coming through, and we'll see you guys next time. Let's go.